How's it going, everyone? It is acquisition season. I mean, it has been that for like over a year now, but this one not as alarming, I would say, just because it's not a Sony or Microsoft acquiring it. However, this is a big transaction. Embracer Group enters into an agreement to acquire Eidos, Crystal Dynamics, and Square Enix Montreal, amongst other assets from Square Enix. Now, there is a press release over on Embracer's official website. We'll go through that, and then I'll give you guys my thoughts. But those are some major studios, and they're acquiring a ton of stuff, so let's go over it. Embracer Group has entered into an agreement to acquire the development studios Crystal Dynamics, Eidos Montreal, Square Enix Montreal, and a catalog of IPs including Tomb Raider, Deus Ex, Thief, Legacy of Kain, and more than 50 back catalog games from Square Enix Holdings. In total, the acquisition includes 1,100 employees across 3 studios and 8 global locations. The total purchase price amounts to $300 million on a cash and debt-free basis to be paid in full at closing. Embracer has secured an additional long-term debt funding commitments for this and other transactions in the pipeline. The company today reiterates its current operational EBIT forecast for fiscal year 21-22, fiscal year 2022-23, fiscal year 23-24. Continuing, we are thrilled to welcome these studios into the Embracer Group. We recognize the fantastic IP, world-class creative talent, and track record of excellence that have been demonstrated time and again over the past decade. It has been a great pleasure meeting the leadership teams and discussing future plans for how they can realize their ambitions and become a great part of Embracer. Embracer is the best-kept secret in gaming, a massive decentralized collection of entrepreneurs whom we are thrilled to become a part of today. It's the perfect fit for our ambitions, making high-quality games with great people, sustainably, and grow our existing franchise to their best versions ever. Embracer allows us to forge new partnerships across all media to maximize our franchise potential and live our dreams of making extraordinary entertainment. That is coming from Phil Rogers, Square Enix of America and Europe's CEO. There's more as far as background and why they're acquiring. Embracer believes there will be an increasingly strong demand for high-quality content, including AAA single-player games over the decade. Hey, nice to see people being in on the single-player games. Let's go! We aim to continue working with leading platforms and license holder and form deeper strategic relationships with a handful of leading companies in the industry. Furthermore, synergies across Embracer's ecosystem benefit our people and companies. Our approach is that quality comes first in games development, which is why we believe our decentralized operating model of empowering management teams while facilitating synergies positions Embracer for sustainable long-term success. I'll leave the link to the whole post in the description box below. It took a while for it to load on my PC, so I don't know if it's like just being bombarded with people trying to refresh and read the whole statement, but nonetheless, this is pretty interesting news. Now, I want to remain cautiously optimistic just because they're acquiring franchises, and they specifically point out Deus Ex, Thief, and Legacy of Kain. Who doesn't want a new Legacy of Kain? I wasn't a big Legacy of Kain fan growing up, but I remember back in the day on the PS1 era, man, those games were pretty big. And Deus Ex, obviously, while I was a bit disappointed by Mankind Divided, I still really enjoyed the game. I regularly recommend it to you guys, and, you know, it's a franchise that I think has so many more legs to it, and how long has it been? It's been nearly 6 years since the release of Mankind Divided, so it's been quite a while. The difference between the release of Human Revolution and Mankind Divided was 5 years, I want to say. Human Revolution was 2011, Mankind Divided was 2016. That's off the top of my head, so my apologies if I'm wrong on that. But Deus Ex is a franchise I think they can do so much more with, and we still don't know what's going to be the future of that series, but I think with the acquisition, with them specifically pointing out Tomb Raider, Deus Ex, Thief, Legacy of Kain, I feel like at some point we're going to get entries into all of those franchises. Tomb Raider, obviously, that's still, you know, a pretty massive franchise, and those games, there's one in development using Unreal Engine 5, so no worry on that. And Tomb Raider since the 2013 reboot has been tremendous. Like, those are some of my favorite games. And Deus Ex, again, bro, it's Embracer, so why not just do a Human Revolution remaster, like, right now? Get an upgrade going on Deus Ex Mankind Divided. Hell, bundle that together, throw in the missing link, and price it at like $40. I think people will buy that. Human Revolution, Mankind Divided, remastered, all the DLC. Let's say $30. You know, 40's a bit pricey. Let's go 30. But yeah, I want to play Human Revolution, and I can't on my PS5. I can on my PC, but let's get, you know, people the ability to play that game on the PS4 and PS5. Legacy of Kain, I think, is an IP they can do so much with. And again, 50 back catalog games from Square Enix as well. Really, I think a talking point a lot of people are bringing up is 300 million USD. That sounds like a lot. I feel like that's not a lot for everything they're getting. Massive IPs, a lot of studios, talented studios at that. 300 million seems like a bargain. I'm kind of shocked by that. And, you know, obviously there had to be other interested parties in this. I mean, Microsoft and Sony would have been all over this. I don't know if this is something where Square Enix wanted to specifically work with Embracer, but nonetheless, 300 million seems pretty good, and I saw the rationale of, wow, like, that means that, you know, these studios have kind of been, I don't want to say devalued, but almost so. Like, I feel like 300 million is pretty cheap for everything that Embracer is getting here. Like, it's a lot of stuff, so, you know, it is honestly going to come down to execution and how Embracer utilizes everything they've just acquired, but if they leave it up to the development studios, man, I think you can do something good. I know the last Thief game was kind of trash, even though, like, I was super excited for it. That game was kind of trash, but I want to see Thief, you know, get a good entry, because I was super excited for that game that came out back in 2014, but unfortunately, alas, it did not turn out that well. Legacy of Kain, that's a game franchise that I constantly see. Like, it's not one that I constantly bring up and be like, yo, let's get a new Legacy of Kain. But, like, on social media, sometimes in my comment section when we talk about Legacy games or Legacy franchise that we want to see a new entry in, Legacy of Kain's a pretty common one that I see brought up, and, you know, there's a lot you can do there as well. Pretty interesting all around. It's not as massive of an acquisition, and I don't think this is going to be as big of a news story had, say, Microsoft acquired all of these studios, or even Sony acquired all of these studios. I do wonder if this was that bigger than Kojima acquisition that was being talked about, because honestly, this seems to me bigger than any studio, acquiring just the Kojima studio, acquiring, you know, these major studios, Crystal Dynamics, Eidos Montreal, and Square Enix Montreal. I feel like that's pretty notable, but definitely interested to hear what you guys think. You know, hopefully Embracer can utilize those IPs better than Square Enix arguably has. I feel like Square Enix did a relatively decent job with Tomb Raider, even though Shadow of the Tomb Raider's DLC, wasn't crazy about that, but Deus Ex, Thief, Legacy of Kain, I feel like those have been underutilized. Even if the 2014 Thief game wasn't that great, I feel like there's stuff you can do with that. Deus Ex and Legacy of Kain, absolutely, I feel like there's stuff you can do with that, so even the Legacy of Kain remake, like the first one, getting a full-on remake, I think that would be really great. But let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.